Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans. Big Ange. Thank you for joining me. Happy Monday to everybody in the chat and viewing audience. This commentary is pertaining to Debbie Collier. Most of you know that this woman went missing and was found dead. Do not have any information pertaining to an autopsy result, but when I get this information, I will bring it to you. Before I get started pertaining to Debbie Collier, I want to talk about this young man that was in a movie. He's an actor, Riverdale, young man who killed his mother. Very strange information. Very, very strange information. Anyway, he's been sentenced to life. This young actor, Ryan Grantham. Why he killed his mother, I don't know. It's very crazy information. But anyway, just wanted to give you all that brief information that he was sentenced to life in prison for killing his mother. Please go to my community board with the said updates pertaining to his sentence. Hello, Skylar. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. What's going on with Debbie Collier? Very, very interesting case coming out of Georgia. Very, very crazy. Very, very crazy. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me
97% of people still don't know Congress approved these new zero-dollar health insurance cards, including dental, vision, prescriptions, and more. The president just
Sorry about that, you guys. Important phone call. Sorry. Now, where was I? I see y'all in here. Look at that. I had a few people waiting. You all are so kind. Sorry about that. That was an emergency phone call. All right, let's get back to Miss Debbie Collier. It's very strange stuff going on. As I said, this actor that played on Riverdale, Ryan Grantham, he's been sentenced to life for killing his mom. Please go check out the information on my community board. There's some strange stuff going on with this Debbie Collier. I'm coming into this information late. It's very strange. What are you talking about down there, Joy? I got 3 sets of stories pertaining to her. I didn't want to do all this reading today. Let me go find what I was looking for. Okay. Thank you all for your time. I was trying to find the latest information. It's very strange. What are y'all talking about? The information I have is not news. Okay, 4 days ago. Hold on, you guys. Okay, here's Law and Crime. This is what you all are talking about in the chat about the dollar store. Let's see what Law and Crime has to say about that. Hold on. It says Georgia mom last seen alive at Family Dollar before mysterious death. This was uploaded 7 minutes ago. If you all want to check this out, it's on the Law and Crime Network. I'm going to post this since this footage has now been released. I already got that. I was trying to see if they were going to talk about it. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm trying to bring you the latest. Let's just go here. Taking up too much time. Okay. Sorry about that noise in the background. They're working on this house.
Using satellite radio. The report says the vehicle was unlocked and no one was inside. A police officer stated that he saw the same vehicle there the day before around 5 p.m. The report states soon after the van was found, Collier's daughter later showed up to the scene.
Hold on.
And denied any suicidal tendencies. She also stated that her mom had a bad back and couldn't have walked far. The report indicates investigators.
We're gonna go back to the beginning.
59-year-old Debbie Collier and left her body in the woods off a rural Georgia highway. Only a stuffed bear, some flowers, and pieces of crime tape remained at the scene today. This morning, 11 Alive obtained a police report offering new details, showing Athens Clarke County Police working with Habersham County investigators on September 11th to find Collier's rented minivan, which had been pinged using satellite radio. The report says the vehicle was unlocked and no one was inside. A police officer stated he saw the same vehicle there the day before around 5 p.m. The report states soon after the van was found, Collier's daughter later showed up to the scene emotional, begging for answers in her mother's disappearance. According to the report, she told investigators her mother did not have any history of mental health issues and denied any suicidal tendencies. She also stated that her mom had a bad back and couldn't have walked far. The report indicates investigators saw a red tote bag near an uprooted tree in the woods off Georgia Highway 15, along with what they believe were the remains of a fire. They also discovered a burnt blue tarp and a naked woman's body. She was lying on her back, and her abdomen appeared to be charred. That woman was later identified as Collier. The day the Athens mother and realty office manager went missing, her daughter told police that her mother sent nearly $2,400 to her through Venmo, along with a message saying, "They are not going to let me go. Love you." Her daughter told police Collier had left home with only her driver's license and debit card. The sheriff's office told me to expect new details in the case this
Lord
week.
have mercy. This noise in the background is killing
Thanks for
me.
watching.
Can't get my concentration on. Okay, so that's NBC News. If you need a source pertaining to the missing lady, everything's pretty old except for the things I have that's like not on audio. Let's go to Fox 5 Atlanta, see what they have to say about execute a warrant.
Work to find whoever is responsible.
This after the body of the 59-year-old was taken to the GBI medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Fox 5's Eric Perry has followed the story. He joins us from the live desk with the latest. Eric?
Yeah, Courtney, Tom, today marks exactly 2 weeks since the 59-year-old was reportedly last seen alive by her husband. Investigators say they need the public's help in piecing together clues as to who could be responsible.
The Habersham County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division has executed several search warrants at locations directly tied to the victim and have conducted preliminary interviews of those closest to the victim.
How and why the body of Debbie Collier ended up in a remote wooded area over 50 miles away from her home remains a mystery. The 59-year-old was reported missing September 10th to the Athens Clarke County Police Department. The next day, September 11th, a Sirius XM service pinged the location to her van. Chief Deputy Murray Kogat of the Habersham County Sheriff's Office released this recorded message as the story continues to gain international attention.
And that the last communication from the missing person was a transfer to the daughter of $2,385 with a text message tied to the Venmo transfer stating, "They won't let me go. There is a key to the house underneath the flower pot."
Kogat says K9 units were brought in to search the heavily wooded area.
The search resulted in the locating of a red tote bag, a partially burnt blue and color tarp, and eventually the victim's partially nude and burnt body grasping a small tree down a ravine.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since her disappearance and the grim discovery, and still no word on a motive, suspect description, or any answers. Fox 5 reached out to the FBI, who sent this statement saying, quote, "FBI Atlanta is aware of the case. At this time, the matter is being investigated by local authorities." The GBI had this to say, quote, "The GBI Medical Examiner's Office is conducting the autopsy, but those results will be handed to Habersham County as we are not involved in the investigation."
At this time, there is no evidence to suggest or support that this incident was related to a kidnapping or that this was a suicide.
Still a lot of unanswered questions. The sheriff's office says the belongings collected at the scene were also sent to the GBI crime lab. I asked the Habersham County Sheriff's Office if they plan to bring in other agencies like the GBI or the FBI, but they would not comment on that. At the live desk, I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
All right, everybody. Fox 5 Atlanta is the source for that, number 2. So let's go here. Many people are talking in chats and different conversations that it's possibly the husband, it's possibly the daughter. What you have to ask yourself is the obvious question. If the police don't think the woman was sending the text message to a kidnapper, because it makes no sense to send a message to them if they're the ones that have her. So why is she talking about a key? A key for what? A key to get in? Was the daughter supposed to go to the house for some reason but didn't have a key? Is it really this woman texting? Why did she text? Why did she send her daughter this amount of money through Venmo? I don't think we believe that she sent it, possibly. I don't think police believe she sent that. Possibly the killer, if it's indeed her daughter or somebody else, they sent the money to the daughter. So that means that then the daughter will be in cahoots with whoever had her there, whoever had the van and had her out there in the middle of nowhere, 50 miles away from her location where she's from. She's way up north Georgia, nowhere near Athens area. Let me tell you all something about burning a body. I think many of you know this who follow true crime. Whenever a body is burned, or an attempt to burn a body, burn a house, burn a car, it is somebody personal to the victim. Most stories that I have seen about 99.9, whenever a body was burned, a house was burned, people were burned up in a house, however it went, 1, 2, 5, whatever. It was somebody personal that was connected to the victim that burned them, because only people close to a victim will burn them. A stranger has no reason to burn you, burn the car, burn the house. If I'm not connected to the victim, then I have no reason to burn them. Only people connected will set a house on fire, set a car on fire. So perhaps this is one of her relatives, friends, acquaintances that did this. Because a stranger has no reason to do all of this. She was naked, I hear. Why was she naked? Was she sexually assaulted? Or was it made to look like she was sexually assaulted? Thank you for joining us, Everyday Shenanigans. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App. All stickers and chats are welcome during the live. This is a very crazy, crazy information about this poor woman. Naked and burned is what we're getting information. Excuse the noise in the background. I'm trying to understand. But somebody in the chat is saying she's the one that bought the tarp. Maybe she was, I don't know. Why would she be buying tarp to wrap her own self in? Would you like to hit the link? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and drop the links. I have another live I've got to do this evening, so I've got to try to allot my time properly. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please forgive the noise. Whew, it is very annoying. Why? Let's see. Lord have mercy. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown with this noise in the background. This is the weirdest. Okay. Fox News is a video for buying tarp, paper towels, red tote, a lighter, rain poncho. Okay, thank you, honey. I'm going to go ahead and drop this for anybody that wants to come up here and give me any information, and I'll be loading my other content as I do this live. Sorry for the delay. Just got too much going on at one time. If you want to hit the link to give your opinion pertaining to this baffling story out of Georgia, because it is indeed baffling. I keep telling you all, you don't know people. And that's the sad part about these stories, is that these people are being murdered by people they know and have no idea that they're plotting their death. Let me start reading some information so I can get this live on its footing. Because I got 3 pieces of information pertaining to her. Okay. I'm going to bring you 3 sources of information. We're going to start with the Sun first. Thank you so much for joining me. Mystery message. Debbie Collier's bizarre final text was far more sinister than a cry for help and points to shocking suspect, PI says. It was uploaded September 26th, which is today. Debbie Collier, 59, is believed to have wired her daughter more than $2,000 via Venmo on September 10th and warned, "They're not going to let me go." The message was sent just a day before she was found dead in rural Georgia. Crime scene profiler Jason Jensen told the U.S. Sun that while the message appeared as if it came from a kidnapped victim, this was not to be the case. The text message contained a reference to a key underneath the flower pot. Jensen said it sounds like the text was nothing more than a pretext. Referencing the key was to make cops believe it was actually Debbie sending the text. He believes whoever sent the text was aware of the key and could offer cops clues regarding potential suspects. Collier was found dead on September 11th. No suspects have been identified or charged in connection with her disappearance and death. Cops have ruled that there was no evidence Collier was kidnapped, according to a police report seen by the U.S. Sun. Jensen said he's inclined to agree with cops, as it appears that she was allowed to use her cell phone to wire the funds. Investigators revealed several chilling details about how Collier's body was discovered. She was found naked and her stomach was charred. Jensen believes it may mean someone was trying to hide potential DNA evidence. He explained, if digital devices don't give you away, the next thing investigators look for is DNA. Her stomach was charred, so it's possible they tried to light her clothes on fire. It didn't work and they stripped her. Paul Bailey, the president of the International Homicide Investigators Association, said it remains unknown if Collier was burned before her death. Jensen said he believes Collier's death wasn't related to arson. Chilling clues. I'm leaning to believe it wasn't a shooting or stabbing. Otherwise, there would have been large blood volume. There was nothing mentioned of a bloody scene in the police report. I'm venturing to guess she was strangled. A neighbor told the New York Post there was a commotion the night before Collier 59 disappeared. She claimed that she often heard noises coming from her Athens property. The neighbor also said that there was loud screaming and fighting at the home. Sirius XM located the car 60 miles away from Collier's home, and she was found dead in a ravine. Habersham County Sheriff's deputies discovered the rental and used a canine to locate her body. Collier was found clutching a small tree with her hand, and officers discovered the remains of a fire, a tote bag, and partially burned blue tarp. Her husband, Stephen, said he last saw Collier on September 9th at around 9 p.m. as he was going to bed. All right. He revealed that they slept in separate rooms due to his snoring. He also told investigators that he saw her car the next morning as he went off to work. The family told cops it was unusual for Collier to disappear without a trace. So was that true? That he saw her car. Let's go back to what he said. He told investigators that he saw her car the next morning as he went off. I don't know. Collier shared pictures of a horrible black eye that she suffered after face planting on the sidewalk in December 2020, years before her disappearance. Cops have ruled that Collier died from homicide, but have not yet revealed explicit details surrounding her death. Jensen said they must have thought it wasn't important to share her cause of death. Otherwise, they would have told us. Meanwhile, Bailey, a retired lieutenant of the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office, believes the investigation will be fairly lengthy. Now, why is that? Because I find it funny. This story was from 2 weeks ago. Why is there no mentioning of a death? Hello, Brittany. It seems that Collier was a pretty avid Facebook poster, so they're going to have quite a bit of information to go through. I don't think people realize the sheer volume in a PDF that can be generated off a Facebook account. Cops are going to have a read all of that, build a good picture of the Collier and her family. Bailey warned, as society moves on, digital evidence is going to become ever-increasing part of every homicide investigation. I do agree with that. He also said that officers will be working out of the woods where Collier was found, and it's the only crime scene. The ex-cop revealed that it's not uncommon for police not to release all of the details while the investigation is ongoing. He said they don't want to necessarily be revealing every ounce of information. Cops want to reassure people that there isn't somebody out there preying on people, but at the same time, hold on a minute. Lost my place. Reassure there's nobody's preying on people, but at the same time, they don't want to jeopardize the investigation. All right, everybody. That's my second source, third source of information. The Sun is the source for that. So they're not going to reveal her autopsy. So that means it's probably something. There's a reason. Now, many of us are going to question why not? Why not tell us? Why not tell us what happened? Manner of death. Why not? So that was pertaining to sinister clues. Let's now go back to the Sun. Details about the clues on her death. This is uploaded the 25th of the month. Debbie Collier's naked, charred remains were found in Georgia September 11th, the day after she had wired her daughter thousands of dollars with a chilling message. You will see pictures of her standing in a garden and also a black eye where she allegedly fell 2 years ago, if that is the truth that she told. Private investigator Jason Jensen spoke with the U.S. Sun and analyzed the chilling situation that's making headlines. As most of you know, she sent her daughter Amanda $2,385, basically saying they won't let her go. She vanished on September 10th and told Bearden that there was a key underneath the flower pot. Why? What does the key have to do with anything? What's this actually Miss Collier sending the text messages? Jensen said he doesn't believe that she was kidnapped because she was able to wire money via Venmo. The message was sent along with the money. Someone's trying to say they're being held captive. but it doesn't seem probable that Collier was kidnapped, as the suspect wouldn't let her use her phone. Exactly. Because if I'm the suspect and I'm the kidnapper, why am I telling you to wire money to your daughter? The only way I would be telling you to wire money to your daughter if indeed I've made contact with your daughter and she's the one that's going to give me the money. And anybody knows that when you're dealing with a kidnap and ransom, you're supposed to call the FBI or the police department. So that means the daughter will be stupid to be doing this ransom thing, if you want to believe that, on her own. Common sense would call the law, and the law will set up the ransom, and they will put a trail on all the phone calling and loggings as so they could catch the captors. And only a fool would involve themselves with another person to kidnap somebody for money. Is the daughter the culprit? Or is somebody trying to set up the daughter? So you can spin this a couple of ways. A, it's the daughter. She got somebody else to go along with her on this BS. She and somebody else kidnapped the mother, took her way up the highway, dumped her, transferred the money with a fake note, came on back home and played the innocent daughter. Or two, somebody is implicating the daughter. So one, you'd have to say, why would somebody, one, want this woman dead? Two, why would they want to implicate the daughter? Is it the husband? Does he have a motive for murder? Is there insurance policy on this Debbie Collier? I think she was headed to the University of Georgia football game at 4. She's wearing a football jersey in Fox News video. So was she going to the game by herself then? People do wear logos without actually going to a game. I think most of you would know that. All right. Once again, Jensen added that if the message really was a warning that Collier had been kidnapped, investigators would be looking for signs of a struggle. He said when ruling out the likelihood of kidnapping or suicide, there would usually be other circumscribing evidence, like a forced break-in, car being ransacked, rather than the money going to the daughter. They would have gone to an ATM and withdrawn the money. I agree. A kidnapping situation is usually for money. There has to be material gain. Otherwise, it's just hostage. Jensen fears someone wants the public to believe that Collier was kidnapped. We're not going to talk about the body. Investigators revealed several chilling details about how Collier's body was discovered. Jensen said the fact that the missing mom was naked, burned, may mean someone was attempting to hide DNA evidence. If digital devices don't give you away, as I said in the earlier article, the next thing investigators look for is the DNA, if they can't find anything on the digital devices. Her stomach was charred, so it's possible that the potential suspect or suspects tried to light her clothes on fire. It didn't work, and they stripped her. Is that true? Jensen said he believes Collier's death wasn't related to the arson and noted that investigators have yet to confirm what killed her. Cops didn't think it was important to share her cause of death once again. Otherwise, they would have told us. And it goes on to say what I've already repeated in the last Sun article. They don't think it's a shooting or a stabbing because there was not a large volume of blood. There was no big bloody scene. Possibly strangled. Bearden was hysterical at the scene, told detectives that her mom didn't have any mental health issues. She also denied that Collier was suicidal. Officers in Habersham County have concluded that there is no evidence Collier was kidnapped. Bearden was quizzed by cops on her mom's medical history, added that she had a bad back, meaning she couldn't walk far. Collier shared haunting photos of a gruesome black eye, as I said before, where she had an incident on a sidewalk. Is that true? Did she actually fall on a sidewalk 2 years ago? Her husband, Stephen, said he last saw his wife around 9 p.m. on September 9th. And allegedly she went missing on the 10th. So what time did she go missing on the 10th? When was she last at home? When was that SUV last parked in that driveway? If indeed he saw her last at 9 p.m. So what happened? Stephen got up. Does he work? Went to work. Said he saw the car in the driveway and he kept it moving. She got up, went about her day, and did what? Shopped. Somebody follow her. Did her daughter call her? Hey, Mom, I need you to meet me somewhere. I need to talk to you. And this was the setup of a kidnapping. Brittany, hit the link. The couple reportedly slept in separate bedrooms, and Stephen was known for snoring. Is that true? Did they sleep in separate bedrooms? If they did sleep in separate bedrooms, is it because he actually snored, or they were having some marital issues? Didn't really like one another. What was the screaming and bantering about the night before? We hear a neighbor saying they heard discord in the yard. What was the discord? Who all was arguing, fussing? How many people were on the property that night of the discord? Is this neighbor reliable, the information that they're bringing forward? Another neighbor says they were reclusive. His name is Ricky. Well, Ricky, I'm surprised you decided to tell who you are, because you still got to live over there, and there's a killer on the loose. Just saying. When we would get together out here on the block for a cookout, they never participated. Why is that? Why did they not participate in the outings pertaining to the neighborhood? Stephen told cops that her car was in the driveway as he left for work, according to Habersham. He and Bearden said this is unusual for Deborah to do this. She has not done anything like this before, people revealed. The pair reported Collier missing around 3 hours after she had sent the message. Collier's cause of death remains unknown as an autopsy hasn't been conducted. TheSun.com is the source of that information as well. So now we have a neighbor talking, saying they were reclusive as a couple. They didn't participate in anything going on with the neighbors. Why not? There's nothing wrong with that, because everybody is not neighborly friendly. Everybody don't want to get involved with their neighbors, talk to their neighbors, because they don't want any problems with them down the road. So what's the truth? Brittany, hit it. Hello? She fell off. That's my second article pertaining to Deborah Collier. What's really going on with these people? So I brought you information pertaining to clues in her death, and a major update pertaining to Debbie. Brittany, you was up here. What happened? September 25th is my other source of information, my third article. Thank you all for joining me. As most of you know, she was found in Georgia in a ravine September 11th. Sent $23.85 on Venmo with the message, "They're not going to let me go." In said article, you will see a picture of Miss Collier when she had darker hair. Darker and a little bit longer. All right. Now it has been revealed that Collier's daughter, Amanda, has an allegedly violent boyfriend who once threatened to hurt her entire family, according to the New York Post. "If you or your family ever come near me again, I will hurt them," former amateur MMA fighter Andrew Gigerich allegedly shared in a handwritten note. According to police documents, in May 2021, Bearden claimed her boyfriend had broken into her home, screamed at her, and attacked her. When police arrived, they found bruises on her body. Gigerich was arrested and ordered to stay away from Bearden, who was also arrested and charged at the same time for making a false police report. So let's go there. Why did this girl make a police report that was fraudulent? Got arrested for it. So that means they saw something that was not evidentiary. All right. She was also charged at the same time for this fake report, saying he broke into the house. They lived together, which was owned by Debbie's husband, Steve. Gigerich pled guilty to domestic violence charges in January, but was arrested for violating parole last month. Now he said he and Amanda had their phones confiscated by police, but did not comment on the note. "They have interrogated all of us. The people who are closest to Debbie are kind of looked at as suspects right now," Gigerich told the Post. Collier disappeared from her home on September 10th and was in a ravine out of sight from the highway the following day, 11 Alive reported. Her body was naked. Hands were still grasping the tree. Her stomach was charred. So why was she grasping for the tree? Trying to hold on to something while somebody threw her down there, or trying to reach up, trying to fight? What? Meanwhile, the family are grieving her loss. Her son, Jeffrey Bearden, said his family are struggling to come to terms with her loss, but are incredibly disturbed by the gruesome details that surrounded his mother's death. "I will never be able to fully articulate the loss of my mother and what she meant to me," James Bearden wrote. She was my longest source of love, support, encouragement. I have been incredibly hurt and disturbed by some of the reporting and the information shared regarding the investigation into my mother's death, he added. Bearden has now asked for privacy and attention on his mother's tragic death to be focused on aiding the police investigation, quote unquote. He said he valued his mother's kindness, empathy, and understanding throughout her entire life and went through life recognizing the beauty and grace in everything she saw and experienced around her. Bearden recalled his mother loved enjoying and making art and dancing and singing along with her favorite music. He said she loved the holidays, consuming herself with hosting and enjoying her family, being together around a home-cooked meal. Each year, she would shower her family with thoughtful gifts as gestures to remind you of her constant presence and awareness of your life and your value to her, he said. Most importantly, she always loved, cared, and respected her family. My mother was persistent in her love throughout my entire life, and I will persist until she's given the justice she deserves. As the U.S. Sun has previously reported, after receiving the Venmo message on September 10th, daughter Amanda Bearden attempted, it's moving too fast, to call her mother. Interesting. According to a missing persons report obtained by the U.S. Sun, Collier 59 didn't answer any of Amanda's calls, prompting the daughter to report her as missing to Athens Clarke County Police. Investigators found that the Athens native left the home she shares with her husband in a rented SUV on September 10th. So let's go back to that. Found that the Athens native left the home she shares with her husband in a rented SUV on September 10th. So let's go there. Why did she rent the car? Was her car broke down? How many cars do they own?
Can you hear me, Queen?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm going to finish this article and I'm going to let you speak.
Okay, I just want to make sure
the vehicle as her car was in the shop. Okay, here we go. And her family did not know the tracking number. Bearden said the missing woman mysteriously left her house with only her driver's license and debit card, the missing persons report said. So did she not carry a full purse with her? Is she known to carry a full purse? That leads one to believe she didn't have much to do, just to take the credit card and what does it say? Her ID. Very interesting. Cops had used the Sirius XM satellite radio technology to track the rented car for her whereabouts. She was located 60 miles from her home. Habersham County's deputies discovered the rental and found her body with the use of canine. Photos from the Now Habersham show investigators and family members coming to the scene after the body was found. You will see that in the said article. Collier's husband said he last saw his wife on the night before her disappearance at around 9 as he was going to bed. But they sleep in separate rooms due to snoring, so he would not be seeing her during the night. He also told investigators that he saw her car the next morning as he went off to work. So what time was that? He didn't see her physically. Last time was 9. Then the next day he sees her car before he went to work. So was her car actually there? I don't know. We'll see. The family told police it would be unusual for her to do this. Neighbors claimed the commotion occurred at her home the night before. What was that? A woman who wasn't named told the Post that there was loud screaming and fighting. So here we go. Neighbors claim a commotion. Who are those neighbors? 1, 2, 3, 4, what? How close are the houses to her house? Another woman, they won't name, her screaming, fighting. Police told CBS 46 they have performed several search warrants at locations directly tied to Collier and conducted preliminary interviews with those closest to her. There is no evidence to support that this incident was related to kidnapping or that Collier's death was a suicide. So why would anybody think she killed herself? Where is she getting that from? You do hear information they're saying the daughter said she wasn't suicidal. So who brought it up first? Police or the daughter? The U.S. Sun has reached out to the police for comment on the investigation. Bearden requested anyone with information contact Cale Garrison at 706-839-0559 or investigator George Carson at 706-839-0560. The Sun is the last source. Hit it, Brittany. I need a breath.
Yes, I don't really know that much. I only know what I've read pretty much.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that the husband didn't speak with her, but it's just one of those things you never really know how other people live. I mean, I understand.
Wait, slow
Like,
down.
speak
He
with
didn't speak to
her
her. What?
before leaving for work that day. I understand, the snoring, sleeping in separate rooms. My mom and stepdad do that as well.
Well, maybe he did speak to her. Maybe he did speak to her. He just didn't say it.
But he says he seen her at 9 p.m. the night before. So I'm assuming that he did not speak with her that morning, and he's just recalling seeing her vehicle outside.
Or maybe it's just his version he's given.
Yeah, right. So I don't really like that either. And then there's the daughter. I feel like something's a little suspect. It's strange.
Well, the thing that they've already concluded is that this is not a kidnapping. This is not a suicide. 9 times out of 10, this is a homicide. So what you have to ask yourself is, why does she need a house with just a credit card and the ID? Was she intending to come right back? Most would say yes, because why would you go out with just those 2 items? Is she known to carry a purse? You also have to ask that. What was found inside of the van? What was found at the scene of the crime? What all was wrong with the body of the victim besides the charring of the stomach? Did they try to set her on fire? And yes, her clothes wouldn't work, so they took her clothes off. Did they set it up for her to be naked to look like it was a sexual assault? Was she sexually assaulted? How did she get down there? Why is she so far away from home? Did she drive there? Was she held at gunpoint drive there? Was she thrown in the car and then drove there by somebody else? So you got 1,000 questions you can ask.
And I think it's interesting they're not releasing the cause of death.
Right. Well, they said they don't want to tell everything.
Right. And I could see that. I mean, especially if you think that, possibly family could be involved, so when you're with questioning them, possibly they could slip up and say something that they shouldn't know if they weren't involved. So I find that it's very interesting. And then one thing I caught that I didn't catch before when you were reading that, this seems to be a stepdad, not the father of the daughter.
I don't know.
The only reason I'm saying that is the way it was worded and what you read said the husband, the daughter was renting or something, the husband's home. She didn't read as her father, I guess is what I'm meaning. So there's a few ways I feel like this could go. I don't feel like it was very random at all. Especially with her having, the Venmo thing is very odd too. It makes me, that amount of money, was someone able to verify that that's what she possibly had in her account? I mean, because that's a strange, I can't remember off the top of my head right now what it was, but it wasn't like a 2,000 or 3,000. I want to say 3,025, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I just felt like that was odd as well. I don't know. I just think it's very strange, the sending of money to the daughter.
What, the dollar amount is strange?
Yeah, I just think that's odd. And, if you're being held, they're not going to let you go. They're not going to let you use the phone. They're definitely not going to let you use your phone to transfer money to someone else. I would assume, it would be to possibly the person that has you held captive. Okay. And would you reach out to your daughter, who doesn't seem to live a very stable life, versus having the chance to alert your husband?
So I don't know about the daughter. She's not stable because of what?
Say it again.
She's not stable because of what reason?
I read a few different things. There was a few different the false reporting, and then some assault charges.
Good God. Well, we know she lies because she's
right.
That fake report on her boyfriend. So is it possible they're involved? They're desperate for money. If they're addicts, hey, I know I can get some quick money.
I mean, I'd hate to think you'd kill your mom for that, but anything's possible.
But what I tell you all about that?
Right. I feel like it's a good possibility.
Well, let's go with the suspects: husband, daughter, lover, somebody else, somebody she knew, another friend, family member. How many children did she have? What were her relationships with her children? What was her relationship with her husband? How long was she married? Is her name on the deed? Does he have an insurance policy against her? Does the daughter have an insurance policy against the mother? Does the son have a policy against his mother? So you can weigh this 1,000 ways.
And see, today, I didn't know until today that she had a son, because when I seen the daughter talk on the news, there was
Some people
nothing
don't like coming
mentioned.
forward at first.
Say it again.
Some people don't like coming forward speaking.
Oh, and I can understand that as well. But it made me wonder if possibly he lives out of town. Of course, I'm just speculating. I have no idea. I just thought that was it. I didn't know that there was a brother. I feel like it. I don't know, possibly the daughter or the husband. I mean, I could also see, with how the daughter seems to live her life, that the stepfather could try to set things up to,
I don't understand what you're
make
saying.
make it look like the stepdaughter as well. I feel like it could go either way.
Do you believe the daughter is on drugs, Brittany?
I don't have any proof of that. But I think it's possible.
Okay, we pull this up. People think I'm sitting here naked.
Oh, I do see you now.
Yeah, because that's covered up. Hello, everybody. Hello. So let you know, I got a little bandana on. There is some clothes under there. Pull up more. Go out from that view. It looks like I don't have anything on. Okay, so
the grasping of the tree really bothered me. I don't know.
I said the same thing.
It made me feel like that she is possibly still alive,
trying to pull herself up.
Yeah, or just I don't know. That was horrible. And I didn't catch the beginning of your live, but I swear I think I read something about a red bag or some sort of bag that was found. Has it said what was in that bag or anything?
I don't think so.
Because I only recall something about a tarp and, of course, her body. And it didn't mention from what I remember reading, her clothes being found nearby or in the vehicle.
Okay, let me
I would assume with the GPS tracking, they should know from I think it was the Siri radio that they used, the XM radio. They should know, the minute that car left her house and, all directions until it arrived at the area in which they found it too. And it doesn't mention her having her cell phone with her either.
No, just the ID. That's why I say it wasn't a matter of, she was going to help somebody. That was the ruse to get her out of the house, perhaps. Hey, Mom, I need your help, blah, blah, blah. It's an emergency. Or, Mom, I need you to come check on something, do something with me, for me. And then it was meant for her to take her debit card, because that's what she's going to use for whatever ruse was to get her out of the house. So she didn't need all this extra stuff. If it was somebody you saying, I just need you to come get this, my car's broke down, or I need some money for a light bill. You understand what I'm saying? But then once she got along with the person, the real reason came to light. The videos, Joy says the video of her at Family Dollar, she has her purse.
Okay.
See, this is what I keep telling everybody about a story. You don't know no more than what the police is telling you, what the family is telling you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And
you don't know no more than what the people tell you.
And different articles write it differently and will state different things.
Exactly.
You never really know. So she had a purse at Dollar General.
Because you don't know what she really left with. Like I said, I think it was a ruse to get her out of the house and bring her purse, debit card, whatever. But when she got to whomever she was meeting, she realized what was going on.
So when did the Dollar General thing come into play? I've not heard that at all.
I don't know. I pulled it up on Law and the Crime Network, Law and Crime, and it's just showing her in the store. There's no talking. There's no audio.
Look, also one I want you to check out on Law and Crime is Devin Clark and Lyric Woods. Watch that. It's pretty interesting. It's probably about 20 minutes from my house.
Somebody said
crazy.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
It's an African-American 18-year-old boy and a 14-year-old Caucasian female that were found dead together.
Yeah, I know about that. I already talked about that.
Oh, I've been missing.
Yeah, I try not to talk about the kids too much, but yeah, I've mentioned that briefly about the
Oof.
in North Carolina. Okay, let's see. Let me go to Fox right quick and see what she's talking about. This
So if
mess.
they now know that she was at the Dollar General, obviously they are definitely using the GPS.
Before dying. So, but where? Which dollar store was she at? In her town or somewhere else?
Yeah, because I feel like it was a pretty good ways from her home from where she was actually found.
But I'm saying, where was the dollar store? In her
I don't
town,
know.
up there where she was found.
I'm not sure. I didn't read
Somebody
that
said Clayton, Georgia. Well, that's north. That's up here. That's Clayton County. Is not right under Tennessee. That's north. So she went up there for a reason then. If she's walking in a store in Clayton County, then that means she willingly went up there for a reason. Because there's no way I'm getting ready to go. Let me work this carefully. You're not going to kidnap me, then say go in the store. It'd be like the story with that Cleotha mess. Hell, I'm going to tell somebody that somebody's holding me hostage. See where I'm going?
Yeah, and I would think it would be odd.
So that means she possibly went up to Georgia for somebody, as I just said. Somebody lured her there, if indeed the dollar store is in Clayton, Georgia, Clayton County. So that puts a spin, like I said. Somebody lured her out deliberately for stuff. Spend stuff, money, whatever. She was lured out.
But, I mean, because we have a Dollar Tree, Dollar General on every corner.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're going to have those type of stores everywhere. So if, let's just say, at the dollar store is in Clayton County, which is North Georgia, she deliberately went up there for some reason. 50 miles is a long way from her house. So that means she went up there. If we're going to say that the dollar store is in Clayton County, Clayton, Georgia, then that means she went up there for a reason. Okay, you wouldn't go up there to deliberately kill yourself and buy stuff from the dollar store.
I wouldn't. I would assume not. Now I want to look really fast to see what town the daughter.
I'm getting thrown off now, so I'm trying to pull up this stuff about her. You said it was on. You said it was on Fox today about her. I don't see anything. Where is it? One day ago. I don't see anything. Debbie Collier. Yes, she looks like she has a pouch. She's looking into.
Yep, I see it now. She's got on a visor.
Yeah, she's got a red shirt on, black shoes. She's digging in something in her front pocket. It looks like a pouch or something. She's putting a red gift bag on the thing.
Which must be the. I'm wondering now if that's the red bag they mentioned at the scene.
She looks. That black thing looks like a crossover bag. And there's also a buggy sitting directly in front of her in the line, or behind her rather. I keep forgetting that when you're going in different directions when the camera's on you. Check out.
It looks like there's something in her hand. Maybe that's just her car keys.
Mark Ruiz, Fox News Digital. What are you trying to tell me, Joy? What is it that you're trying to? What's the point you're trying to make, honey?
She bought a rain poncho, refillable torch lighters.
And let me say about the red bag, that's a gift bag she put up there.
Yes, listen to this. It says, in another clip, she is seen buying several items, which police say included a rain poncho, refillable torch lighter, and 2 rolls 2-pack roll of paper towels.
Yeah, I read all that just earlier.
And the tarp. Okay, sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah,
what?
Because I had a lot to read, so.
What? That's odd.
So she's buying stuff up there. Then she went up there for a reason.
Yeah, it says in this video she appears to be calm and not in fear of anything.
Yeah. No, she was set up.
What would she be buying a tarp for?
She was set up. She was either set up or she got robbed going up there. But you still got to ask, who was she going to see 50 miles away? Joy, what is it that I'm supposed to be looking for? What is the content? I don't understand what you want me to look for. I don't understand what you're saying. You're just telling me somebody's name. What is it that I'm supposed to be, the point of what I'm supposed to be looking for? I don't understand. Lord have mercy. Strange.
Very
Could be random. Who's to say? Maybe it's random. Maybe somebody did pick her up. Because you got to remember, North Georgia has a lot of carjackings. Fulton County, Clayton County, all of that is carjack city. Could it be possibly these people are not involved in her family? This was a carjacking. Somebody saw a nice white lady in a car and they bum rushed her, made her send these messages, blah, blah, blah. But then that don't make sense because why would the daughter be receiving the Venmo? I don't know.
That's where I get really
That's not going to make any sense if the daughter, I forgot about that part. The daughter got the money. Let's go there. Where is the money that was sent to the daughter through the Venmo? Joe, I don't know what you're talking about. What is it that the point of what you're trying to say? You saw what? What is it that I'm supposed to be talking about from this Fox? That's all I'm asking.
All right, so it looks like the daughter's from Alpharetta, Georgia. Hang on, let me go back and see now where this.
So that's the part that I guess could say it's not really random because they sent it to the daughter. A stranger wouldn't know the daughter unless the daughter set it up and the person they're all in cahoots together. I would think the daughter would be along for the ride, wouldn't you? With the kidnapping.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, or I still something about the husband. I feel sketchy. Like I feel like that she would have had to have been in contact if the daughter is involved with that day. So, and now I'm really puzzled reading what she bought with those things being found at the scene. The tarp, I guess, is just.
That's what would make you think that it's personal. That somebody knew her and she was going to take this stuff to see somebody or something that she was getting ready to go do. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, because
I'm not going to buy anything. Listen, if you put a gun to my head and let me go walk in a store, I'm not going to buy a damn thing. I'm getting ready to yell for help. Hey, there's a gunman out there. Hey, it's a woman with a gun. So that means she was going to do something. She knew somebody up there. People don't tell everybody their business. You always got to remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say she wasn't going to see a friend? Whatever.
And then she's burned, and she bought two.
It's suspect.
Yeah, especially being that the tarp is there, the fact that she is burnt, and says she bought 2 refillable torch lighters.
Somebody says I think she thought she was on her way to a football watch party near where she was found. Why you say that? Oh, Lord have mercy. I believe it's personal.
Yeah, I feel like it would. And I feel like that amount.
A stranger would have no reason to have the money sent to the daughter. That would make no sense. That's the only part of the story where you know it can't be random because of the issue of the Venmo money sent to the daughter. that throws all that out the window of a random carjacking, money, whatever.
And I believe I read that it was the daughter that reported her missing, not the husband.
Mm-hmm.
I would think technically the person that lived with her would be the person to report her missing. If
You would think.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's why I said, what's the relationship between the husband and the wife? What's the relationship between the daughter and the mother? What's the relationship between the son and the mother? Are these people really caring adults? Do these people get along? Is there animosity between the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6? Is her name on the deed? Does he have insurance on the woman? Do her children have insurance on her? So you have to ask all those questions because we don't really know what the hell's going on. We don't know these people. Neighbor is saying they were reclusive. So easier to hide secrets when you don't talk to nobody. Where are her friends? Did anybody talk to her to ask, tell us why she was going all that way, 50 miles up the highway up to North Georgia? Is there anybody that's going to say, yeah, she was coming to see me. We talked. We were getting ready to get dinner, lunch, a game, what? And the fact, I can't really see a woman going to a game by herself. Now, I do a lot of things by myself, but I don't go to games by myself. That's not something.
Yeah. And I don't recall what day of the week this was either. So, I mean, depending on.
Well, you got to go back. You just got to go back on the closet.
Yeah. That's something about the daughter I found odd. I really do. But like I said, I'm stuck on the fact of the husband.
Was a Saturday. That's game day.
Okay.
The 9th is a Friday. So 9 o'clock Friday night, last time the husband saw her. Allegedly.
So where was the husband?
Does he work? Does he have a full-time job, a real job? What does the husband do?
And does he work on Saturdays? And if not, what was he doing all Saturday?
Well, he had to do something because he said he saw her car in the drive. You had been doing something. So that would lead me to think you were leaving when you say, I saw her car in the driveway.
Yes. That's what I assumed. And without knowing what day of the week it was, I was just assuming he was.
We're all on a Saturday. For those in the viewing audience is trying to figure out the day of what did I say? The 10th. The 10th was a Saturday. Game day, a day for games. If we're to believe that's where she was going. But see, you don't know where she was going. Because the dead don't tell you. The dead don't tell us that.
No, I mean, it's possible she could have family in that area, but I also feel like that.
Daniel Kelly says he loan officer at a bank. So her husband was a loan officer? Okay.
Well, most banks are closed on, I should say most.
No, he's just talking about his position, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
Story was husband went to work and her car was there when he left. Yes, that's what I just read. Yes. But this is what I tell you about a news story is that you can't get mad at the information that's being revealed because the news only report what somebody told them. So I keep telling people when they get all riled up about stuff that's being revealed, why are you getting mad? You only know, the news only know what somebody told them or what the detectives told them. It doesn't mean it's the truth. It's just a version. So you don't really know what's the truth. Because if somebody that knows her got her gone, then you can't believe what they told the detectives when the detectives told the news. You just don't know what's the truth. Hi, Esley. How are you, dear? Who has the motive to kill Debbie Collier? Was she last seen by her husband? Did he beat her, hurt her that day? But then it said she can't because she's on a camera. What was she doing in North Georgia? That's the question that's going to lead to the answer of what happened to her. Why was she in North Georgia? Was she going to see a friend, a lover? Could she been going to see a lover? Stay woke. Has she been giving somebody money? Filling somebody's pockets up? Telling her personal business? This is why I keep telling you why. You have to keep your mouth closed. Don't tell people what you got going on. Is this a setup to make somebody else look like they're the killer? But it's somebody else. I don't know. Jesus wept. What a mess.
So this says the Athens Clark County Police missing person said an officer met with Steve Collier at 6:08. So
6:08 what? In the PM?
PM on September the 10th. And then in a way I found Well, I guess, okay, I was going to say, I find that odd you would report somebody missing so soon if he left at 9 and she just wasn't home by 6 p.m., but I'm forgetting about the message.
Well, that means she's supposed to come back allegedly. But once again, what did I tell you? If these people are involved, they're going to spin a version. So you don't really know if the woman was supposed to return at 6 or just went out for 20 minutes. You don't know.
Now I want to know.
They're involved. They're lying. So you can't believe anything that they're saying. So we don't even know these people. We don't know if they have something to do with this woman's disappearance or not. So you don't know nothing. That she was found 50 miles away. She's now releasing her camera footage. She went in a store and bought something. I refuse to believe somebody forced her to go in the store, because if somebody made me go in the store to get toilet paper, they're going to kill me. You think I'm going to come out of there?
Okay, so hang on. I'm looking at this. Okay, so
I'm not going to buy anything. I think I'm going to die.
So she's reported they spoke with him at 6:08. Says the Venmo was sent at 3:17 p.m. So now, hold on, I want to go back and look and see what time she was on surveillance at that dollar store. Hang on one second.
Jacked up. Jacked up, man.
It's a sick world. Let's see if it gives me a time. Okay, so she was there from 2:55 to 3:09. So, okay, so sorry, ad popped up. That's interesting. Okay, so it says in what I'm reading on the
story now. Here we go.
It's 2:55 to 3:09. She was on camera in that store, and then it's 3:17.
Said found stripped naked and burned. Debbie Collier, the Georgia office manager, found stripped naked and burned in the woods off a rural highway earlier this month. Blah 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 blah. Remains on September 11th. Uphill. Let's see. Collier was seen buying a red tote bag. Okay, so I thought it was a plastic, but you can't tell on camera. A tote bag, tarp, and lighter, similar to those found uphill from her remains. So was she going out there to? This is crazy.
So check it out. Listen, it says that when she's buying that stuff, that is between 2:55 and 3:09. So immediately after that, at 3:17 is when she sends the Venmo. 3:09 is when I guess she left the store, and they're saying that Venmo to the daughter was sent at 3:17. So that would be almost, immediately after, which is very interesting.
So let me go back and reread this and put it in my head. A red tote, a tarp, and a lighter. What would I need those things for?
Being that she was burned, and I feel like that possibly they were a request, because myself, I only buy those torch lighters for literally my tiki torches and things like that.
Listen, did they say it was the lighter for the pilot lighter, or was it a lighter for a cigarette?
From what I read on the Fox, it said refillable torch lighters.
Well, was she going camping? I don't understand none of this.
I would think not, if they're recalling what she took with her, but we also didn't hear she had
but that's what I'm saying.
With her.
Why did she need a
purse?
Why does she need a lighter? Why does she need a tote? Why do you need a tarp? 50 miles away. Okay, Phoebe says a cookout tailgating party. That's my point. Who was she going to see up there?
And a poncho. Don't forget the punch. So it was, and it.
Somebody said someone must have gotten in the van while she was in the store. Could have, but she should know not to leave a door unlocked up in North Georgia. Everybody knows that. If you're from this area, you know how they rock in Atlanta.
So if that's the case.
Don't leave nothing unlocked. Don't stop and talk to people. Don't hand out money. Don't conversate with people. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Because that place is known for carjackings and stuff. That's why I said one could think that, but where we know it can't be a carjacking and robbery from a stranger is because they're putting money into the Venmo to the daughter. Why would I do that? I don't know her.
Right. So that's what
and say, hey, I got your mom's money, phone card, See, that don't add up. That goes back to personal.
Right. They're not nice enough to, I'm going to kill you and burn you up. But if you want to send your daughter some money first, you can. I mean, no. And
Right.
now that I've written these times
Why would I
down,
be
it's
sending the
really
money
sketchy.
be a kidnapper? If I'm the kidnapper, the money's going to come to me. She's going to send
Right.
me the money, not the damn daughter.
And so if you go by the times they posted, 3:09 would be her leaving the store, 3:17 sending the Venmo. Within that time, she knew somebody was not going to let her go and was allowed to send the Venmo. No, something's really sketchy.
That's what I'm saying. If we know it can't be random because they're not going to involve the daughter, they would send the money to him or herself. I'm not going to rob you and then I'm asking you to tell you put money in an account for your daughter.
Right. I would be interested
money.
to
I'm going to
know.
take the money. It only looks like it's leading to that the daughter's involved some type of way. That's why the money went to her in the Venmo.
That or someone is trying to.
Exactly.
Yep. I would be interested to know what her balance is in her account. Like if that was all of the money.
Has any more money come out of her debit card?
Right. Or did that amount, take all the money out of her account? I just find that amount interesting.
Daniel, we don't know what she tells me. We don't know what kind of relationship she has with her husband. See, that's the whole gist of this story. I'm just going to tell you, this is personal. The reason why we can scratch off random is because the money went to the Venmo to the daughter. A stranger's not getting ready to send money if it's robbery to somebody else that they don't know. That makes no sense. You're not going to, hey, send your daughter money. Then I'm going to go meet her. Give me her address. And I'm going to meet up with her. She's going to give me the money. I'm with you now. I'm going to take the money from you. Somebody says, Jakey says the Venmo account was shared with the husband.
And you would honestly think if it is shared with the husband that amount of money would alert like both people. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't know you could send that amount through Venmo or Cash App.
It's personal because of let me tell you something.
Has to be.
Whenever it's a fire, it is personal. Strangers rarely set people on fire. Everybody knows this. Most true crime cases involving a burned body, charred body, house on fire, car on fire, the suspect was somebody they were having sexual relations with. How about that? The husband killed the family, then set the damn house on fire, and then played dumb. Oh my gosh, my house is on fire. See where I'm going? Same thing with the story I brought you a month ago. The husband killed all the family members, set the house on fire with the gas, blew the damn house up. He has not been seen since.
Okay, see, Ann Clark in the chat just read, I'm just seeing it being rounded up now in the news. But what she just posted in chat is originally what I seen, $2,385. I find that strange.
I said that, Jakey. Could be that the father is setting up the daughter.
I could see that. I could see that too. The reason for
like I told you, the only way you don't know anything because once again, you don't know the people. You only know what the police is giving us as information. So the police only knows what somebody's telling them until they do their investigation to see otherwise. But yes, this is personal. Whenever you involve fire, it's personal. Strangers just don't set people on fire. They have no reason to set you on fire. They don't know you. They don't know that somebody's going to link me to you. So why am I going to set you on fire when I don't know you? I just want the damn money, your valuables. I'm going to set your fucking house on fire.
And if I don't know you and I just want to kill you and I'm not going to take your money. I'm going to let you send it to your daughter. Why wouldn't they just kill her and leave her there?
I'm going to send it to my damn phone, my account.
Right.
I got I got a phone. I'm trying to kill you after I rob you. I ain't going to let you send no damn money to your daughter, sister, cousin.
Right.
What?
And there's a key in the flower pot.
As the police said, that is to throw off investigators. That was a ruse. They knew that. See, that's the thing about the story. You don't know what they found already. That's why they're not telling us how she died. They already know something. They know something.
They have to. Something about the key in the flower pot takes me back to the husband. I don't know. That's just.
And that number, let's talk about the number. of the money, $23.50. However, that's the number you knew I got. Bingo card. Shut up. We ain't got time.
Well, that's my thing. That's why I said I think it'd be interesting to know what is her balance now, or what was the balance at the time. Did that take all of her money?
I took all the money I knew you had.
Right.
Stranger
and how did
don't
you
know that.
know?
Stranger
I mean, you
don't
may
know
right, because I may think, oh, this person has some money, but I don't know that sending this amount to my
But I ain't
cash
gonna
app.
send it to your kid. I'm robbing you right now. I'm not getting ready to make you send money to your child, your sister. That makes no sense. I'm robbing you. I want the money sent to me. I want you to, as the cop said in the article, ain't nobody robbing you to do that shit on no Venmo. I'm taking you to the damn ATM with a gun to your head and you're going to get the damn money out the ATM. It ain't going to do no Venmo nothing. Don't do it.
I want to go back now. Hang on one second and read this message that it said on the Venmo.
That amount is an odd amount because you knew what I had in my account.
Right.
You've already killed me and took the money and transferred the money. Bingo card. Bye. It's personal.
See, I feel like that they would have had to kill her after.
Yeah.
Only because now that I went back and looked them up, they would have had to kill her, but which is possible still. 309 between 309 and 317 when the Venmo.
And then somebody in the chat said who was with her in the car. You don't know who was with her in the car. That's why I said this is personal. Whoever did it, it's personal. They knew what she had in a dollar amount, whether they asked her beforehand or she told it, or they look, they know. They knew rather. Right. Now what you got to do is check everybody's bank account. What transaction has the husband made? What transaction has the daughter made? And anybody close to her. That's where your information is going to bring you the truth to who the killer is.
So look, so if you take the time they say she left the store, 309, to the 317 when the Venmo was sent, that would be only an 8-minute time frame. So yeah, that makes me wonder, was someone in the car for sure?
In the car with her.
I mean, or yes, that they definitely, or met her in the parking lot.
Somebody's lied about not seeing her.
Yep, because that's a very short amount of time for her to be so happy, carefree in a store. Maybe I shouldn't say
and
happy.
Writing, and then the fact that on the Venmo transaction, she's writing this note saying they won't let me go.
That's what I'm saying. So 8 minutes later, saying they're not going to let me go
because that's somebody I'm with, not a stranger. At first, you would say a stranger, but you could only say that if you hadn't heard about the Venmo part.
Yeah, and I want to read the Venmo message again. I know what it says, but I'm just trying to.
See, you know what's sad to me, pathetic to me, is that you walk by people every day. You don't know people. You don't know people.
Even the ones you think
you don't know what their intentions are. You're slobbering all over them and putting up with their bullshit. And little do you know they're plotting your damn demise. You don't know people.
Nope.
It's not going to matter who killed her. Whether it was a friend, a neighbor, her daughter, her son, the dad, the husband. It's all the same. It's personal. Somebody she trusted or half trusted.
They're not going to let me go.
Why you think they took her way up there? Bingo card. You didn't think about that, did you? Why'd you take her way up there? Why'd you commit this crime 50 miles out?
Yeah, it's definitely sketchy. Like I said, I just went back to read the Venmo message again, just because I'm trying to think of my last seconds to possibly send my child a message.
Yeah.
I just
Daniel says, wonder if the husband was at work. Exactly. Let me get all the money off this heifer's card and this and that before I knock her off. Because if I'm plotting her death, I want to get all I can off of her. Because it's personal.
Yeah, I'm on the dad and the daughter.
It's a dad and the daughter. One of them did that.
And I could see, I don't know. That's sad. That's horrible. And like I said, the grasping of the tree was just heart-wrenching. Because that makes me feel like, it makes me feel like she wasn't
maybe,
dead.
She was getting thrown down and she was reaching for something, trying to hold on to something to, get some strength to get up.
Yeah,
They said it
that or
wasn't a lot of blood, so possibly they strangled her. So could the daughter overpower the mother? Let's go there. If we're going to say this crime was committed by the daughter, was the daughter strong enough to overpower the mother?
if she wasn't, possibly her boyfriend was.
I thought about that too.
Yep. So it's possible.
Are we talking about two killers in the car with Miss Collier? Jakey
I'm
says the
stuck.
husband
I did
knows
not
the
know
daughter
this.
is not allowed a key, which makes it more like the dad setting the daughter up. Jakey, hit the link. Tell me why the daughter's not supposed to have a key. Don't tell me you're hearing Facebook.
See,
gossip.
and I can kind of see that, because that's one thing. Until I was listening to you read earlier, I was wondering, like, is it possible the dad could have set them up? You know, he probably has, you know, with them living in the rented home of his, that, you know, maybe there's something he could say, oh yes, they're, you know,
Let's go there. Let's go there. Is this an issue of the father sick of everybody?
It made me feel like
I don't want the kids. I don't want her daughter. I don't want to be bothered with the boyfriend issues. I'm done with them. They're dead weight to me.
Well, and let me just say this. I have tripped and I have fell, and never have I gotten a black eye. I'm not going to say it's not possible. I sprained my ankle. But I've never gotten a black eye. And there's something about that that's odd to me. And then it's odd to me that you would post it. And then some could say, oh, you know, well, you know, there was nothing to it, is why she posted it. She truly
the daughter's
did.
been on drugs, so maybe this is a drug issue.
That was my first thought.
My thing is, kill somebody for that $2,000. That's all. I mean, you're gonna kill somebody for under $3,000, but we know that people kill for less.
Your mama at that. Or could it have been the boyfriend and the daughter didn't know?
Could be. But I don't see her going way up there with the boyfriend by herself. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, no.
She would have gone way up there by herself with him. I doubt that. She went with somebody she knew.
And the neighbors said the night before, sorry, I know you read it, I'm just trying to think back, that they heard an argument.
Her and her husband arguing. It was either her and her husband or her and her daughter. Take your pick. Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and then that could make sense of, if there was an argument the night before, why he wouldn't have spoke to her before he left that the morning.
Daniel says, odd that the husband had no contact with his wife the entire day.
I mean, yeah, that was the first thing that did strike me odd, other than the daughter, is that, you know, I get the snoring and sleeping in different beds, but to get up and leave.
Jakey, I like you. Jakey says, there has to be two people involved, someone to drive the car back. Bingo card. Damn. Somebody in the chat's using their thinking cap. Amen. I always tell people, always assess the situation that has been given to you. Your answers lie in the beginning of the story. Exactly. Thank you, Jakey. Thank you so much. I missed that.
Yeah, that's a smart statement.
Because how did the perpetrator get from where they were when they left the damn SUV? Shut your damn mouth.
I mean, yeah, because if it's the daughter saying, hey, mom, come pick me up and take me to the Dollar Tree to buy this, I would assume she would go in with her.
Ooh, boy, we missed that. But I said I thought it was two, because when you gave the timeline, it had to be two.
Yeah, that's where I'm really stuck. I had to give those separately.
When she was in the store till when she sent the Venmo, that's only 7-8 minutes.
Yep, 8 minutes is what it says. She was in the store from 2:55 to 3:09, so she wasn't in there very long either. But I was
missing get gone that quick coming out of
in
the store.
8 minutes.
It's personal, because I'm not going to have her send money to somebody else when I'm robbing her.
Right. In 8 minutes, they're not going to let me go. I love you, and there's a key
It
session.
was set up. She was set up by somebody she knew. All this was planned to get her up there, out the way, out the highway. Wherever they went was a ruse, a game, of this, looking at whatever. I don't know. Tractor trailers. I don't care. Thrift stores, all the same. All of it was a ruse.
Yeah, and I don't think that even with that short, if we go by what the news is telling us, that's 8 minutes. I don't think still that mom would have sent the text. I think they immediately would have took her phone.
Somebody already killed her and typed that in. That wasn't her. The mother was dead. She was getting dead or on her way dead. However you want to word it. Because she has no reason to send the daughter money. And if a stranger had a hold of her for ransom or something.
When did they find her? I gotta go back and look now. When did they find her? Because
they said so the mom picked her up and the other followed in the second car.
Now I'm trying to hang on, let me Google. When did they actually find her body? Because
the 10th.
They found her the same day.
Friday. The 10th.
Okay.
Or the 11th. 10th or the 11th.
Hang on, let me look.
10th was
because I would think, I know everybody doesn't think the same, but I would think that if I knew
her remains were found on the 10th. She went missing on the 10th. So the remains on the 11th, that would have been a Sunday.
Yeah,
okay. Saturday. Friday was the 9th. 10th was Saturday. 11th was Sunday.
So here's my thing. You don't
says, how far was the store from the crime scene? Very good question. Daniel, you are on the ball tonight.
And I would think that if, you don't have a lot of information on this vehicle because it is rented, that the very first thing to do would be to
talk about that too. Was that also set up? It said her car was in the shop. So somebody took advantage of this issue that the car was in the shop. So this was pre-planned, at least within a day or a couple of hours. Think about it. She's in a rental. Let's set this ruse up. She's got a rental. Get her up here, blah, blah, blah. Set up the stage. Have her go in the store. All this bullshit. It's all bullshit.
And boy, see, and a part of me doesn't think that the car was a setup only because.
No, I'm saying that somebody took advantage of the fact she had a rental is what I'm saying. That's personal. That means because a stranger don't know you in a car.
Right, but I would also think that would be an ignorant choice because you could immediately contact the rental company and they could locate that vehicle.
I found her.
But it's still odd that it took a whole day.
It took a whole day because the people involved are the ones reporting you missing. Bingo card. Ding.
Yeah, because I feel like in something they said, one of either the husband or the mom, they said something like they didn't have certain information because it was a rental, which makes it even sketchier.
Daniel says, was her previous car accident another attempt on her life? I don't know. I didn't know she was in another car accident.
I read that it was a car accident is why she actually had a rental.
Well, who knows? Could be coincidental. But let me tell you something. People who are out for robbery, whatever, they take advantage of any given situation. So if she's got people watching her, this was a perfect opportunity. She's in a rental. We get her up here, blah, 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 knock her off, transfer money from one thing to the other. Ain't nobody gonna know nothing.
Yep, because look, this is what it says. The officer logged Debbie Collier of Georgia Crime Information Center is missing, but her family did not know the model, year, or tag number of the rental.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna know that. I'm not gonna go look at a rental tag number.
But that's probably exactly what helped them find her.
I have no reason to go look at a tag number on a rental. One, I didn't rent the car; she rented it, so that's no big deal. But to me, it's a opportunity to get her gone because she has the rental. You see what I'm saying? Because she has the rental. I'm telling you, somebody thought about this. It's obvious because as Daniel says, somebody had to get back from dropping off the damn vehicle, even if you want to say it was random, which I think it would be only 1%. The person still's got to be able to get away out of rural Georgia. What are you, hitchhiking in rural Georgia? Hell no. Hell no. I was playing. Why? What's the motive? What's the motive? Got to be more than $2,300.
You know, to a drug addict, no, it doesn't. Sometimes I think. I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Out there,
that's what's going to be asked. What's the motive?
Oh no, I completely agree. I mean, I'd hate to think that regardless.
I really don't like my mom. I hate her guts. We ain't never had a good relationship. Blah blah blah. I know she's got some money. This is my opportunity to get a couple $1,000. But damn, $2,300 just still ain't no damn money.
And there's something about the husband that really bothers me. I don't know what it is. I mean,
see, that's the whole thing. It could be both. I'm leaning towards either one.
Yep, I would say
one did it for drugs, revenge, animosity, or the husband did it to set the daughter up because he's sick of all of them. All of them. He's done with all of them.
That would take care of them getting out of that rental house that he rents to them and everything.
He wanted to be free. Let's say it's the husband. What would be the motive? I want to be free of these people. My marriage ain't working out. I ain't happy. Maybe they're not having sex. Maybe there's no camaraderie. There's no love. There's whatever. And as mama used to say growing up, kill two birds with one stone. Let me get rid of this damn daughter too. She's a nuisance. Hello, Pill. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, he could possibly be having an affair.
His daughter
something
too.
About her having an affair.
I thought of that. About her going up on this trip. Could it be that it's somebody she met? They were supposed to meet, hook up. He knows some of her business. But I can't see them sending the money to the daughter. That wouldn't make no sense. If I met you, let's say on a date site, I wanted to rob you, set you up. I ain't gonna send your daughter.
If it wasn't for the money being sent for the dog to the dog,
that's the most highly suspicious part of the story is the money being sent to her. That's the most suspicious part of the story. Well, see, Phoebe, that's what the law enforcement has said. I've brought you all content pertaining to law officials do not believe she killed herself. They do not believe she is the one that sent the money or the message. The message and the money went at the same time. They do not believe it was Miss Collier. Thank you all for joining me. It's bad. Oh, Lord have mercy. What a mess. Let's see what Court TV has to say about this mess. Let's see what they're talking about. The daughter's house was searched by officials. Fox 5 is the source.
Thank you for calling Montlick and Associates. How may we help you?
1 second, everybody. Hello?
sorry, I'm in the boonies.
That's okay. We're going to play content pertaining to the daughter. 1 second. Let me turn this.
Bluetooth connected.
County investigators continue to work to find whoever is responsible.
This after the body of the 59-year-old was taken to the GBI medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Fox.
At least this
Death of Debbie Collier has gained international attention as Habersham County investigators continue to work to find whoever is responsible.
This after the body of the 59-year-old was taken to the GBI medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Fox 5's Eric Perry has followed the story. He joins us from the live desk with the latest. Eric?
Yeah, Courtney, Tom, today marks exactly 2 weeks since the 59-year-old was reportedly last seen alive by her husband. Investigators say they need the public's help in piecing together clues as to who could be responsible.
The Habersham County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division has executed several search warrants at locations directly tied to the victim and have conducted preliminary interviews of those closest to the victim.
How and why the body of Debbie Collier ended up in a remote wooded area over 50 miles away from her home remains a mystery. The 59-year-old was reported missing September 10th to the Athens-Clarke County Police Department. The next day, September 11th, a Sirius XM service pinged the location to her van. Chief Deputy Murray Kogat of the Habersham County Sheriff's Office released this recorded message as the story continues to gain international attention.
And that the last communication from the missing person was a transfer to the daughter of $2,385 with a text message tied to the Venmo transfer stating, "They won't let me go. There is a key to the house underneath the flower pot."
Kogat says K9 units were brought in to search the heavily wooded area.
The search resulted in the locating of a red tote bag, a partially burnt blue and colored tarp, and eventually the victim's partially nude and burnt body grasping a small tree down a ravine.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since her disappearance and the grim discovery, and still no word on a motive, suspect description, or any answers. Fox 5 reached out to the FBI, who sent this statement saying, quote, "FBI Atlanta is aware of the case. At this time, the matter is being investigated by local authorities." The GBI had this to say, quote, "The GBI Medical Examiner's Office is conducting the autopsy, but those results will be handed to Habersham County as we are not involved in the investigation."
At this time, there is no evidence to suggest or support that this incident was related to a kidnapping or that this was a suicide.
Still a lot of unanswered questions. The sheriff's office says the belongings collected at the scene were also sent to the GBI crime lab. I asked the Habersham County Sheriff's Office if they plan to bring in other agencies like the GBI or the FBI, but they would not comment on that. At the live desk, I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
That's similar to what I already read. Let's go here. The daughter's house was searched. The tarp, she was in that tarp. The tarp was burned. That's what was said here. So that leaves the poncho. I don't know. Maybe they had something to do with the vehicle number 2. Investigators searched the home of Debbie Collier's daughter days after finding the Athens mom dead in Habersham County, according to police logs obtained by Fox News Digital. Investigators have not identified a suspect or person of interest in her death. The Habersham County Sheriff's Office said there is no evidence suggesting Collier's death was related to kidnapping or suicide. Authorities have said that investigators interviewed those closest to Debbie Collier and executed multiple search warrants, which I already brought you that information. A police log obtained by Fox News Digital showed law enforcement searched the home of Debbie Collier's daughter, Amanda Bearden, on September 14th. Officials declined to release copies of the warrants, citing the active investigation. Bearden was at her mother's home on September 10th in Athens with Collier's husband. Okay. Steve. According to a missing persons report from Athens-Clarke County Police Department, she and Steve Collier spoke to officers after reporting Debbie missing. Bearden also drove to the scene where Collier's body was found while investigators searched for her mother, according to the Habersham County Sheriff's Office. An incident report said Athens-Clarke County Police notified her of where her mother's rental car was found. Let's see. Okay. What's thought to be the last known communication from Debbie Collier was a Venmo transfer from an account belonging to Steve Collier to Amanda Bearden. Stay woke, everybody. Let me repeat that. What's thought to be the last known communication from Debbie Collier was a Venmo transfer from an account belonging to Steve to Amanda at $23.85, $2,000, $385. So why was she sending money from an account belonging to her husband to her daughter? Any ideas? The message with the transfer says, they're not going to let me go. Love you. There's a key to the house in the blue flower pot by the door. The sudden disappearance and death of Debbie Collier shocked people across Georgia and the nation. Details about the discovery of the woman's body in the woods in Habersham County have raised questions about her disappearance and death. Investigators discovered her in the woods off of Georgia Highway 15 in Habersham County. Investigators found her nude, laying on her back, grasping a small tree with her right hand, according to the incident report. They also found a red tote bag. She was next to a blue tarp. So they also found a red tote bag. She was next to a blue tarp. So whatever she bought, these are two of the things she bought. Toilet paper, you don't mention that. They threw the tarp out with the red bag. Why? If you have information pertaining to this investigation, contact Cale Garrison or George Kaysen at 706-839-0559 or 706-839-0560 respectively. Who is Debbie Collier? Deborah Todd Collier, 59 years of age, was an Athens resident. Police identified her adult daughter as Amanda Bearden. She told investigators that her mother had no history of mental illness, but had a bad back, indicating to law enforcement she couldn't walk far on foot. Carriage House Realty, Inc. in Athens employed someone by the name of Debbie Collier as a front office manager, according to the website. The company's social media had not publicly acknowledged Debbie Collier's death as of September 22nd. Debbie Collier appears to have shared a Facebook account with her husband, Steve. So we now get information that she shared a Facebook account with her husband, but the debit card thing, Venmo, was his. Now, somebody in the chat says she shared it with them. Her husband let her use his money cards also. They had access. Well, let's see. Collier was a Georgia Bulldogs football fan, according to the public Facebook post. She went missing on the 10th. The daughter told investigators that her mother's car was in the shop at the time, and she left home in a rented Chrysler Pacifica SUV carrying only her license and debit card. So how did the daughter know what she carried out of the house? Did she live with them? Did she stay with them? Was she visiting? How did she know what the mother had? Repeat. The mom left in a Chrysler Pacifica, carrying only her license and debit card. This is what the daughter told investigators. Based on the incident report narrative from the Habersham County Sheriff's Office, Athens Clark County Police received assistance from Habersham deputies on September 11th. Fox 5 Atlanta is the source. Well, if you're making up stuff to use as a ruse, you're going to say something similar pertaining to the victim and the person receiving the money. So that's where the key information will come in to play. Oh, the keys under the pot. It really doesn't make any logical sense. Why she would put that in a text. And they're already saying they don't believe she sent that text. But what I'd like to know is how did the daughter know what the mother left the house with? Brittany? Joy, I don't know. But she's saying she left in a Pacifica. So that means she had to have had knowledge. If that is true. Brittany, unmute yourself.
It'd be interesting to know from 317 from the Venmo to when the daughter contacted the mom's phone. Because I would assume, just me, if my mom sends me a message like that with that amount of money, I'm immediately calling her phone. So, of course, those are things we don't know right now, but I am sure all of that's tracked.
I'm wondering what officers have asked her about the Venmo. What time did she receive it, and what has she done with the money? That's also going to lead to if this is truthfully the mother sending the Venmo.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really makes no sense to send her money and somebody's kidnapping you. They don't even make the two are, they don't correlate. They don't make any sense. I have you kidnapped. Why would I tell you to send money to your daughter?
And I feel like possibly if it is the daughter and her husband or boyfriend, that they would have went their separate ways after the Venmo. Possibly the boyfriend would go on its way about the mom, and then the daughter would be separated to deal with the fact I just got this Venmo, so she has that whole role to play.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm wondering if the money's been spent in the Venmo. Because see, they're going to say this came from an account belonging to your mom, stepdad, dad, however you want to word it. What are the odds that you get money on this in a message saying they won't let me go? Yet your mom's found dead, and you're doing what with the money?
I don't know. And it's odd for her daughter to say, you know, she just had her.
Jakey says the daughter said she drove around for 2 hours looking for mom. Why didn't she phone 911 straight away? I don't know.
Right. And whether she did or not call them straight away, I would assume that they can show phone records to see who all she did call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, within that.
Who she talked to up until getting the call and the Venmo from the mother. How many times she talked to the mother? Where's her location? Bingo.
Exactly. And where that first phone call.
Where does her car ping all day from morning up until searching for the mother? All of that. Father too. See, people tend to forget that one little thing that gets them caught. Most people can't leave their phone. And when you're plotting a crime, you forget that you should leave your phone somewhere.
And I would think once you receive a message like that, if you've contacted your mom, no answer, you've contacted your dad or her husband, whoever he is, the next step would be.
In Clayton County, the woman lives in what? Athens or the Athens area. So it's 50 miles out.
Yep.
The dump site is 50 miles out. I don't know how far the dollar store is to the dump site.
You know, and they're able to say there wasn't an abduction. So
yeah,
they're aware that there was no forced entry. Doesn't look like any foul play inside the home.
No abduction. They know that.
The daughter owed the boyfriend money that she had taken from his account. The daughter owed the boyfriend money that she had taken from his account. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's strange, very strange, but I feel like she probably left her home willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Something about those items, though, I find that so strange.
But I'm not going to buy those. I'm not getting ready to buy stuff, and you're out there telling me to come back and going to kill me. I ain't coming back to the car. Makes no sense.
No, and if you know those time frames are accurate that they're given, that's a very short time period. Like, what did I say? 8 minutes, I think it was, from when she leaves that store.
Where are you getting this information that the daughter owed the boyfriend money? Just curious.
Somebody says close. The dollar store is near the car site. I think it said 10 minutes from the dollar store to where they found her.
That would make sense. All this mess took place up North Georgia. All this mess. The ruse, everything. I think we know that.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of going up there, so nobody could see nothing we were doing. Like they're to kill you around here because we're going to be seen around here.
Right. I would assume that this would be wrapped up pretty shortly. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, did someone say in the chat earlier?
Because they're stupid enough to think ain't nobody got no damn cameras up there.
Right, because it doesn't. It's interesting to hear that the daughter say she only had her driver's license and debit card,
Yeah.
and then now it comes out today. We clearly see her physically.
With a
We see
purse.
her with the
Because
purse.
you were with
Yeah.
her. You were with her.
Bluetooth connected.
Let's see what this court TV has to say about this.
This is from the boyfriend's interview with the police.
Coming up next up, Athens Clarke County Police Department informed Sheriff's Office deputies of the missing person report tied to the vehicle, and that the last communication from the missing person was a transfer to the daughter of $2,385 with a text message tied to the Venmo transfer stating, "They won't let me go. There is a key to the house underneath the flower pot."
Cryptic message in a money transfer. This is Debbie Collier. This is who the sheriff out in Habersham County, Georgia, is talking about. She went missing, and there was this communication after a transfer of money from her Venmo account saying, "They are not going to let me go. Love you. There's a key to the house in the blue flower pot by the door." Bizarre. Now, her husband, Stephen Collier, also informed that he had last seen his wife, Deborah, the night before, just before going to bed around 9 p.m. He stated when he left for work in the morning, the vehicle Deborah drives was still in the driveway, so she should have been home. He clarified that he and Deborah sleep in separate bedrooms due to his snoring. What's going on in Habersham County, Georgia? Let's find out. Joining us by phone tonight, she's on vacation in Orlando, but she's a reporter and publisher for NowHabersham.com. Joy Purcell is with us. Make sure you check out the website after the show, folks. Incredible reporting on this, NowHabersham.com. And also joining us in Columbia, South Carolina, retired medical examiner, forensic pathologist, and former law enforcement officer. She's done it all. She's also a chef, by the way. Dr. Michelle Dupree is with us. Great to see you, Doctor. Joy, let me begin with you. And first of all, great work in your reporting on all this. Give us a little more of the background here of this missing person. I want to begin with Deborah going missing. What are the circumstances surrounding that day?
Well, I was notified on the afternoon of September 11th. It was a Sunday, a quiet Sunday, and I got a notification that there was a possible homicide investigation on the north end of Habersham County. And just to set the stage for you, we are a rural county, population about 45,000. We're about 80 miles northeast of Atlanta, about 15 miles north of Athens, Clarke County, where Debbie Collier was from. And I was given a general idea of the area where they were investigating, but I expected, because of the rural nature of our community, I expected I was going to have to search for the crime scene. And I was very surprised to find it off a major highway, US 441, which is the main road connecting North Georgia and Western North Carolina. And the law enforcement officials and crime scene tape were right there in plain view of all the passersby. It's a heavily trafficked route. The black Pacifica van that had been reported missing out of Athens, Clarke County, tied to Debbie Collier, a van that she had rented, according to her daughter, was sitting right off the highway. And the county deputy coroner said that her body was located about 0.2 of a mile from where the van was located. Her body was found in the woods, partially nude, partially burned. And we're just now, waiting with everyone else to see what more they're going to be able to tell us regarding the cause and manner of death. They have not determined that, or at least released that yet. Her body was sent to the state medical examiner's office for autopsy. So we're waiting to find out exactly how she died, but it has been confirmed that she did die in Habersham County.
And any indication on whether her phone was with her, her phone was not with her? This Venmo message, this cryptic Venmo message is what really captured a lot of people's attention, including myself.
Right, a chilling message. And the report that you cited, in that report, her daughter and her husband reported her missing. The daughter reported to Athens Clarke County Police that all she took with her was her driver's license and her debit card. but obviously, there was a Venmo payment made from her cell phone, and that has been confirmed. And, it was made to her daughter with that very cryptic, very chilling message that, they're not going to let me go, love you. And so there's a bit of discrepancy in terms of what was reported in that missing person report and the fact that there was a cell phone for this Venmo payment to have been made from. I've not heard that it was made from any phone other than her mother. So, and Amanda Bearden, the daughter, who reported her mother missing and who had stated in that missing person report that she only took her debit card and her driver's license, did state that she attempted to call her mother, but there was no answer. So it indicates that there was some belief with both the payment and the attempt to call her that her mother did have her cell phone on her, but never responded.
Dr. Michelle Dupree, before we get into what you can figure out at autopsy when it comes to all of that, I want to draw upon your experience as law enforcement and also medical examiners. We know you guys get into some of the investigation as well. What are your thoughts about trying to tie together how she ended up where she ended up and what happened that morning?
Well, one of the things that we look at is something we call the totality of circumstances. And so we look at everything surrounding her disappearance. We look at the scene itself. We ask questions about, all of the evidence or lack of evidence that we find. And so this is a very intriguing and yet mysterious case.
All right, Dr. Michelle Dupree is going to stay with us. Joy Purcell is going to stay with us. We're having a little bit of trouble hearing the doctor right now. We're going to clear that up. We're going to take a short break. More on this story coming up, plus coming up next hour. In Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right, everybody, brief intermission with them. Thank you all so much for joining me. What you got to say, Brittany? Briefly before they come back on.
A few things I just thought about. So, of course, she had her cell phone. If she truly did send the Venmo, but I don't know. I've never had Venmo, so anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. But I know that for Lord, what's the other one? Not Venmo, but
what drug rehab place so close? Very strange. What do you mean? Was the daughter in rehab? She couldn't have been in rehab up there, and then was at home also with her and the father were getting together to file the report. Casper, I mentioned it already about the old issue of a note being written. All that's in the beginning of this live. Any past discrepancies between the family, the ex-boyfriend, I've revealed all that at the beginning of this live. You have to go back to the replay. Go ahead, honey, so I can resume this video.
I was going to say, I know Cash App, whenever, regardless of the amount that I send, I have to put in my passcode before it completes the transaction. Okay. So, which is interesting to think that, that someone else
had 20 days to go to rehab. Huh?
It's interesting that the boyfriend said.
We don't even think she wrote the message. Y'all not listening. Somebody's
but it does make me wonder. It does make me wonder if they had you get the passcode from her in order to send the amount, or
they have.
Did the husband send it from his own phone, and you would know no difference?
It's bad. It's all bad.
Yep. I don't like that the daughter, says what the mom had on her.
Maybe
I think that's odd.
2,400. Well, maybe they didn't care nothing about the rehab, honey. Usually addicts don't care nothing about going to rehab. Rehab is already paid in full before you even go. It's already arranged.
And most addicts aren't gonna kill somebody and get that amount of money and go check themselves in.
It's already checked out. Most addicts don't want to go to rehab anyway. I can't see anybody killing somebody for rehab money.
Right? Yeah, me either. Because what's the point, really? Because you're going to go to jail for
All right.
murder.
On this. One second. What a mess. I don't know, but I think they're going to find out. I'm praying they find out which one did this. Somebody did it. And I think it's somebody close. I don't think it's a stranger, only because money was sent to the daughter. That's why I said, wait till you find out what she did with the money. Was the money blown right away? Because that money in the flower pot was a ruse. That was to throw you all off. That was to throw people off.
Families came in like thieves in the night and took 8 lives.
All right, coming back on. Hold on, you guys.
It's a chilling story. The Ohio family massacre trial.
This is Court TV. If you need verification, it's posted to my community board pertaining to this. Lord, it's taking forever to get to the point of this. Let me see.
Related to a kidnapping, or that this was a suicide?
What happened to Debbie Collier? I mean, a lot of this is not making sense tonight. I want to read from part of the police report in this case, and it says, in part, officers went into the woods. They found a red tote bag near an uprooted tree. They observed the red tote bag on its side, and then he observed what appeared to be the remains of a fire. As he approached the fire, he looked further down an embankment, and he observed a partially burnt blue in color tarp. He observed a nude female laying on her back, grasping a small tree with her right hand. And Sergeant observed Collier's remains to apparently burned with what appeared to be a charring to her abdomen. I'm trying to figure this all out. I want to bring back in our guests. We have with us Joy Purcell, publisher, reporter, now Habersham.com, this website doing amazing reporting that Joy is really leading. And Dr. Michelle Dupree, retired medical examiner, forensic pathologist, is with us. Dr. Dupree, what do you think they are going to be able to ascertain in this autopsy in terms of cause and manner of death with what facts we seem to know at this point?
Well, they should definitely be able to determine the cause of death, whether that is from the fire, and I would probably suspect that it is not, that there's probably another cause of death. They should also hopefully be able to retain some type of trace evidence, anything from the scene that might help, give us a clue as to what happened and who did this.
Joy Purcell, let me ask you locally, stories like this don't happen too often in Habersham County, but locally, are people talking about this? Did law enforcement say that they have people that they're looking at, maybe people of interest that they haven't named yet?
They're trying to develop leads, looking for persons of interest and possible suspects. They say they have conducted interviews both in Habersham and Athens. They are also, saying that they've executed search warrants. They've sent their evidence off to the GBI crime lab for analysis, but as far as naming names, they have not said that they have a list of specific suspects. However, I did want to note, Benny, that, we talk about the intrigue and the mystery of this case, and adding to that was the announcement earlier this week by the sheriff's office that there's nothing to indicate in their investigation at this point that this was a suicide or that it was tied to a kidnapping. So there are far more questions than answers at this point.
Absolutely. Dr. Michelle Dupree, your thoughts on that? No evidence of kidnapping or suicide. Well, what does that tell you, and how do you think they're able to make that determination?
Well, a couple of things. She did leave the house of her own accord, apparently. She took with her license and a debit card. So she was intending to go someplace. She had a rental car, which I'm not exactly sure why the car she had was rented. But in any case, she went there. The car was parked out in the open. It appears that she went there voluntarily and perhaps was meeting someone and things went bad.
And before we run out of time tonight, Joy Purcell, let me ask you, is there anything else in that area where her vehicle was found and where she was found?
There is an addiction recovery center not far from where the vehicle was parked and where her body was found. There's been no indication that has any connection whatsoever to the case. Other than that, it really was in one of the more, I won't say remote, but underdeveloped areas of the county, just on a wide stretch of US 441.
All right. We are going to continue to follow this story, obviously, and as more information is developed, we'll bring it to you. Joy Purcell, first of all, thank you so much. I know you're on vacation with your family right now. We appreciate the time that you gave us tonight. Enjoy the rest of the vacation, but we're going to be calling you when you get back in town. Dr. Michelle Dupree, always appreciate your insight, your expertise. Thank you as well.
All right, everybody, it's Court TV. Let's chop it up, Brittany, before I check out of here. So I got another live to do pertaining to true crime.
I'm betting on the daughter, unfortunately. I just think it's all very strange.
Yeah, where's the purse? Where are the clothes? Where's the purse? Where are the clothes?
Yeah, where is the purse?
The rehab center doesn't have anything to do with the crime, allegedly.
I do feel like there has to be some sort of relation to possibly that area they're in.
I don't know if this thing about the boyfriend has anything to do with this, because I think by now they would have found out if he was there or the daughter wanted to see him or the daughter was with her. Because as you see, they're not telling you that the daughter was even with her to try to tie in the boyfriend being in a rehab.
I would think with the GPS data and things like that, very quickly this would wrap up. I really feel like, especially with, it being questions of, they've already, did a search warrant of the daughter's house. I find that odd. So, yeah, I think we would have answers soon.
Why would you find that odd, dear? Your mother is missing and you're receiving money with a note of like a ransom or not a ransom, but that the mother's kidnapped. So why would I not check your house when you're receiving money at the same time? Think about that. You're the first person's house I'm going to check because you're the one receiving money at the time of a disappearance. Drug money.
It's just odd. Nobody's killing you.
Drug money in what? Drug money in what aspect?
I think they mean for the daughter.
Well, 2,000 is not going to go very far. You are an addict. I think most of you know this.
So do you know, how would that work when, this money is tied up into this investigation? Would they still have, the daughters still get to have access to that money? Is that something they could take away? How does that, do you know? Does that make sense?
Well, they're going to ask you, why would somebody be sending you money and they're being kidnapped? Come on now, to do the math. They're being kidnapped by somebody that's not affiliated with you. What do you have to do with what the hell's going on up in North Georgia? Why would I not ask that? What does the key have to do with anything?
Yeah, the key is a very odd state. Something about the key.
Is this a secret code for something? But still, it doesn't make sense because she's being allegedly kidnapped and robbed. Naturally, it'd have to be robbery. What's the purpose? As I read in an article, without the money, then it's just hostage. Why would I be holding her hostage? For what? So how do you fit into the money in the Venmo? And she's way up
I think that's the key. That is the key. You don't kidnap somebody and give their money to somebody else.
You're our way being held hostage, but yet you're sending money to your daughter. Does that make any logical sense? The only person going to put that together would be, well, the daughter, you'd have to have something to do with the person that has her hostage.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, follow the money. Where is the money? Is the money still on the account? Has she spent the money? What did she spend the money on? Bingo card. Was that money transferred to somebody else? Bingo card.
I was reading the chat.
$2,300 bingo card.
I was reading the chat. Somebody said that in the interview with the daughter's boyfriend, he mentioned, "I've never been on drugs or never did drugs." That's very odd.
Yes.
To mention something like that.
Peel, that's the point I've already made. When all the money was sent to her, what's the correlation between the daughter and the kidnapper? How was the kidnapper going to go get the money? We're talking about you're an hour away with this person. So did you know the daughter? See, all that makes no sense because the kidnapper, if it's random, he or she don't know the daughter. I'm trying to rob you. If that was my motive, why am I sending money to your damn daughter?
Because the daughter is the kidnapper.
That means somebody was using her phone. The woman wasn't typing anything to anybody. That note was done by somebody else to try to throw law enforcement off.
And it doesn't sound like they found her phone at the scene either.
Well, you're going to scatter that around anyway. Clothes, phone. So let's go there. Where was the phone found? Where are her clothes? Have they been retrieved, found? Where is her purse? Looks like she had a black crossover bag on. Where's the purse? Where are the items that were in the purse? Has anything else been stolen or done in her name since being missing? Any accounts open in her name? Debit card, credit card? Any type of suspicious accounts open in her name? It's wicked.
Yeah, part of me feels like the disclothing was to make it seem, as if it was something that it wasn't. I pray that that's the case as well.
Yeah, but see, I told you, if you follow true crime, you know that strangers don't burn up people. Only people that know you burn you up.
Yeah, kind of like stabbing. Like a stabbing is very personal type thing.
I've never heard of a stranger burning somebody up. It's very rare. Only people that know you set you on fire, such as when they kill you at the house. I set you on fire because I don't want nobody to know I shot you in the head. But because we have great medical examiners, they look in the skull and see the bullet hole. Ding! They see the bullet. Ding!
Yeah. I found it odd that they kept mentioning, could it be suicide on what we were just listening to? I know. I think that's definitely out of the question.
Jakey says she didn't send that note because it said love you. It would have said I love you. Love you is distancing.
I agree. That's one thing that made me want to go back and read it again earlier, because the key is it says whatever. They're not going to let me go. I love you. And then the key is whatever under a pot. And that's it. I would feel like you would at least say, I love you one more time.
So what does the money have to do with what I'm doing and what I got going on as far as being kidnapped? Number one. Two, what is the money supposed to be? What is the point of the money? What is the point of the money being sent to you and I got these people holding me here and not going to let me go? Two, why am I talking to you about a damn key in a pot?
Yeah, it's strange. It's all strange. I feel like the message.
Go in my house and what? Get more money? To meet me up here to give these people? What? Make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Because it's Bruce.
And in the message, she says, they are not going to let me go.
Right.
They, as in more than one.
Right. Instead of saying he or her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because when you're speaking of yourself, you're speaking of who the hell was with you. Bingo card.
Right. And then if we use that timeline that I looked up earlier, that's 8 minutes per leave-in, and all of a sudden they are not going to let me go. How can you be so sure of something like that? That's all very odd.
Well, my thing is they, because it was they who had her.
Yep.
And I feel like when you're writing about yourself,
yep,
that's what you would do. You're gonna say I, or him, or her. But I got a co-conspirator. We put they, them.
It would be interesting to know if they have parking lot surveillance at that Dollar General.
That's another thing I want to touch on. What will the surveillance show if indeed there were cameras outside of the store to show who was in the vehicle with Debbie Collier? Bingo card.
I would assume that's the next thing. If they can tell us and
pulled out. beside her, behind her. Any car waiting in the distance, across the street, whatever.
Yep. I mean, because if those timelines are accurate, that I was looking up in Google, and that's a very short time period from her being in that store. I can't let that go for some reason.
Yes, because if I'm going to kidnap you for robbery purposes, I want to get all off that I can get. Hey, how much money you got in your account? Hey, how much you got? So she's going to say, okay, let me send this money to my daughter and talk about a key. It makes no sense.
And her purchases, I'm not going to lie, I think the things that she purchased are very strange.
Yeah.
Whether it was a game day or not, still something about that is odd to me.
Toilet paper and you're an hour away. Like I said, that sounds like something somebody would buy for themselves. A
poncho.
Like I'm out or I'm visiting somebody or I'm getting it for somebody else. Perhaps she was buying those things for somebody else. Somebody asked her to buy these things because they had her buying her own stuff to wrap her up in. I already told you the tarp was burned up. You all are worried about the poncho. Well, the tarp tells you everything you need to know. She bought her own wrapping paper.
That's
to wrap her own body up in. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody else was there in the car waiting on her.
And I would assume some sort of, I don't know, suffocation. Because I feel like if there was any, bullet wounds, that would have been mentioned.
Yeah, no blood, no heavy blood at the scene. So 9 times out of 10, she didn't bleed out. So she didn't bleed out. That means, as the woman said, she was strangled. So who strangled her? Who strangled Debbie Collier? Suffocated her, which is soever. It's all the same. It's very baffling.
Sad world.
Hello, dear. Yes, we need the surveillance outside the store because that's going to show you who was in the car if they can get a make of who was inside. Also, everybody's text messaging and Google searches is going to also be relevant. What you all were doing the night beforehand, who all was talking to whom.
Who was arguing.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But your text messages, if you have a co-conspirator, 9 times out of 10, you've already been talking to them and on the phone in code or something.
Right.
And
clearly
it was for money from her daughter. It's disgusting. If it's the husband, it's still disgusting. It's disgusting all the way around. Why would you kill this lady?
Sad.
It'll be sad if the husband did it to set the daughter up. It's sad. Pathetic, quite frankly. Lord mercy.
Crazy.
Well, I'm going to check out of here because I have another live to do pertaining to murder, attempted murder case. Hopefully this person will be ready to go here shortly. But I thank you all so much for following the content. I will go live again with this story. I'm a little late on this content, but I saw it and I said, very interesting. When I saw the Venmo situation, I thought, yeah, I'll talk about that briefly. We'll see what will come about pertaining to Debbie Collier. And we're going to ask the who and the why. Who killed her? Is it more than one? 2, what is the motive? 3, what is the manner of death? And are we talking about more than one conspirator? Or is it one person setting up somebody else? Is the husband setting up the daughter? Did the daughter do it? Did the daughter have help? Life insurance policies on this woman? What else will we find out pertaining to her relationships with her husband, her children, any other outsiders, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers? What? Did she go meet somebody to help them and got herself in this entanglement, this debacle of being murdered? But the Venmo is the key to the story, because I don't believe a kidnapping and or ransom or would lead to someone having the mother woman send money to her child. It makes no logical sense. It makes no logical sense. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App, all chats and stickers are welcome during my live. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Jakey, for your fine thinking, because you were really on the ball, especially about the car. Suspects had to have a way back to wherever they came from, be it Athens, Georgia, or North Georgia. Rural part of America. How did you get back from where once you came? Exactly. Stranger calling someone to come pick him or her up in the middle of nowhere. Hey, buddy, what you doing out there? Oh, I don't know. I was just taking a walk. Say what? Set up, possibly. Who set her up is the question. Who set up Debbie Collier to be murdered? What is the motive? And I always know that there's always two sides to a story. His side, her side, and the truth. And somewhere amidst the gossip and the versions lies the truth to what happened to Debbie Collier. And the motive doesn't have to make any sense because it's diabolical to kill her anyway. It's not supposed to make sense. Thank you for following my content. Like, share, subscribe. Please check out my video from last night pertaining to a new woman who's come forward to say that Cleotha Henderson, the man being charged with kidnapping murder of Eliza Fletcher, she gave her story to Good Morning America. Please check out that video I did yesterday. We now have a new victim that has come forward. How many more victims are there pertaining to sexual assaults by Cleotha Abston Henderson, who is now currently in a jail in Memphis, Tennessee? Very riveting story as well.
Thank you, Queen.
I told you all that. You're welcome, baby. See you later. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too, baby. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That's Brittany. Will there be more victims pertaining to Cleotha Henderson? Did he sexually assault other women since being released from prison in November 2020? 11 months it took for this to be a hit in the CODIS database with his DNA. Why did it take so long? No help. It's not good enough. And as with this story, big wheels keep on turning. This is a baffling story. Because what's going to be sad, like so many crimes, is that this lady was killed by somebody that she knows and trusted, and perhaps didn't trust. And if she didn't trust him, she didn't get out in time to save herself. And many people end up in this same predicament, sadly, unfortunately. They trust people. At some point, they become betrayed by the person or persons, and they still hang around. And sickening, these people eventually plot their death. And the people don't get out in time. Was she having marital problems, Miss Deborah? Was she having problems with her daughter or somebody else close to her? Has she met somebody that lived in North Georgia? She was going to see that person, spend time with that person, and they used this opportunity as a way to rob her and implicated the daughter some type of way in the sending of the money through Venmo. I don't know. Thank you so much. But I'm praying that law officials will get involved to every capacity, other agencies if need be. And that's another thing I meant to mention during this live. Why is the Georgia Bureau not involved, or the FBI? Is it because they do believe these people have a hold on the case? They don't need their help? Or this small community don't want the help of Georgia Bureau, FBI? I don't know. Maybe there is an arrest on its way. And some of you are asking, why did they search the daughter's house? It would make sense to search her house because she's the one who received the money. I'm assuming she's received it. And I think it's very peculiar that money would be sent to someone far away at least an hour while their mother is being held hostage. Make that make sense? It doesn't. Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. Have a good week. Be safe. I have a new movie for the week called Backroads. Please check it out. It is an awesome movie showing on Roku right now on the Roku channel. So please go into your designated app to find this movie. It is a very diabolical story about a young man left to take care of his sisters because his mother murdered their father. And it spins a very wicked tale of dysfunctional people raising dysfunctional children and how one bad thing can lead to another bad thing. Please check out Backroads when you have time this week. It is a very, very good movie. It's probably the best recommendation I have ever brought to Everyday Shenanigans. So please check out this movie, playing now on Roku. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Mind the children. Everybody be mindful of your surroundings and the company you keep. Because you see, Deborah was a random person. Eliza Fletcher was a random person, just like all these people we talk about in true crime. They're all random. Whether they were wealthy, well-off, poor, working class, they're still random. So that means if they're random, then you and I are random. And all bets are off as far as who can end up a victim of crime. Any of us can become a victim. So be careful of your surroundings, the company you keep, what you tell people personally, what you post to social media. Please be careful. Thank you so much, Bunny Fur. Thank you so much. Please be careful of the company you keep. Because I got a sick feeling Miss Collier is no longer with us because somebody in her family killed her. And that's going to be very devastating to many people and people in the community when it's revealed that somebody she trusted or had distrust of murdered her and left her out like trash in the wild. And I do believe they set it up to make it look like it was a sexual assault, that a random person committed the crime, but where you messed up is the Venmo account. And I think you know that. And as I always say, can't take it back. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. God bless all of you. Thank you for joining me.